This is Calcats the Calicatster, and this is a review of Moonfall. I finally found it. I finally got out to see it as we near episode 1K. There's gonna be a super torch. Mark's Cards is not going to this, but this could be the 1K special right here. Super Toy Show. Or it could... I think we're going to reach 1K videos before the special, but then do the special after it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So anyway, Moonfall. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. New location. I scouted over there when I came back. So I went to the Mercado because it wasn't playing anywhere nearby. And about 10 minutes into the movie, they decided to check the doors of the theater and opened them. Well, that was pointless. So, yeah. Halle Berry and two other guys I didn't recognize. They've been in stuff. Looked like one of the Hangover guys and one other guy. Yeah, it could be where that... No, I guess maybe not. Heidelberg movie comes from. Well, the Heidelberg family website. I don't think that's the guy. He just looks like him. Yeah. Yeah, we're not paying homage to their very boring video that they did about a joke on COVID. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to reference that. Really. I just did. But, yeah, so we have. He's not actually in it. Yeah, we've got a bunch of actors that have been in other stuff that I've seen. I just don't know who they are. One of them looks like, they're recognizable certainly, but I don't know who they are except for Halle Berry. So yeah, we have Roland Emmerich's latest disaster flick, the beginning of which takes place in 2011 before the events of... It's not canon with 2012 apparently. And yeah, so we have it's not canon with the Day After Tomorrow either. It's kind of its own thing. There's a space mission that's kept a secret because an alien craft attacked the shuttle. Sort of like Emmerich saw Gravity and thought, I could do that more better with more special effects. And so he kind of did Gravity in the beginning of it, but then decided to do 2001: A Space Odyssey, and he also saw Prometheus. So he's like, I can do that better too, because they didn't do that right. I'm going to do it better. He did his own further than Prometheus. Thrown in with a little bit of Mass Effect and Halo. Yeah, and Ringworld, Larry Niven. Halo is copying Ringworld. Yeah, in case you didn't know. But in that, the Ringworld civilization was not a evil. But yeah, Halo is copying that too. And it's a different kind of Ringworld, but it's similar. Dyson Sphere, Moon, planet ship, basically. He's read he's read Canary Space apparently. Planet ships in it, Canary Space and its sequels. Yeah, so he's read my stuff. But his version is a little out there. Yeah, so we have the moon mysteriously is going out of orbit in the story. It's ridiculous. And it's going to crash into the Earth, and they get this shuttle out of this conspiracy theorist reveals that the moon is going out of orbit after trying to visit this other guy. He's got an elderly mother who is senile in a la 2010. So he's seen 2010. Actually, the ending is 2001 and 2010 with Dave Bowman, pretty much. He liked that idea. Did it twice. Two different people. He also kind of likes Star Trek. So he's like, oh, I'm going to reference the Bajoran thing in a way. Yeah. And Prometheus with the engineers, but called them the forefathers instead. He's definitely a Distant Destiny fan. Definitely Canary Space fan. There's the forefathers in that too. So definitely same universe. No, it's not. It's not the same universe. It's sort of a multiverse. His disaster movies, multiverse. We have a subplot where he liked all of those doomsday prepper movies in The Purge. So he does this whole long extended. The heroes are being chased through the Colorado Rockies and being hunted down by these bandits that have no reason to be bandits other than they're being crazy. Like, they're not doing anything other than being bandits. It doesn't make sense. And the moon is crashing down to the earth. That really doesn't make any sense. The gravity's all weird and wonky, but they try to explain that away by saying, "Oh, it's a point singularity thing. It's that. It's because there's actually inside it is a miniature white dwarf in the moon, and it's a megastructure around this white dwarf. Even though a white dwarf would be the size of the Earth, not the moon. But maybe it's an itty bitty white dwarf, and we'd be able to detect that. So that doesn't make any sense. He really liked the ending of 2001, and he wanted the Jupiter star thing to go fly around. It's actually reminiscent of some of Mark Card's early stuff. The main hero guy is basically Mako, and he's basically all heroic and stuff, and he meets the alien and everything, the alien AI, and the alien AI tells him about the forefathers when they go inside the moon and talk to the alien AI. Yeah. Well, they did show the extended trailer for Batman. Except I've seen it already, so on other things. But they also showed trailers for 2 really boring horror movies. One about a possessed lady that's possessed as a daughter, and another, and another one about like some scary cursed house or something. I got them mixed up because they're boring looking. It's shot with gray and alabaster, and spooky, it's gray, and they need to stop doing that. It doesn't look cool. It just looks dingy. It doesn't look. At least they didn't have our hero spin around backward and do a back punch. They didn't do that. There wasn't any like back punch comment. Maybe there was briefly and I missed it. That's a really, really bad idea. What I mean is, I've seen this before, and even in the Mandalorian movie. There was a hero guy that gets up, and he stands up, and he like spins all the way around and goes boom. Like, ooh, that looks cool. It's like, no, it doesn't. He's opening his entire back and his legs and the back of his head to being immediately pummeled as he spins around. It's not gonna work. Yeah, we have a military group that wants to launch nukes the base and get totaled before that happens. They I guess you don't really need to riff on the science because there isn't any. But they did try a little bit to make it a little believable as a sci-fi sort of popcorn mystery science theater type of deal. But yeah, how they got things working doesn't make sense. Because they had a museum-ready space shuttle that somebody wrote "fuck the moon" on the side of it. And in other versions it says "screw the moon," but it says "fuck." It's in the museum as a space shuttle. It's the Endeavour. It's the Endeavour from Canary Space. The ship in Canary Space is the Endeavour. So they're literally referencing Canary Space in here. He has read my books, and he's like, I'm going to make fun of that. But in Canary Space, it's not a shuttle. It's a ship that's named after the shuttle. It's a hyper vessel that's named after the shuttle, which is named after an ancient sleuth ship. He just cribbed the name. Yeah. Anyway, so he liked the name. He didn't. Yeah, the shuttle ends up saving the universe. Kids are getting screwed, but they have like a battle pod that they have. And they go inside the ship, and they find, like, they go inside the moon ship, and they find a Dyson sphere inside it, which doesn't make sense, and a star, and this AI thing is feeding off the star somehow, and that's how it went out of orbit or something. It doesn't make any sense. How would the AI be able to do that if it's and they're also ripping off. They're also ripping off Contact. We're all saying he saw the original Contact movie and possibly the book, and he's like, I'm gonna make fun of that ending where Jodie Foster sees her father. As a fly just went by. Jodie Foster sees her father, and so I'm gonna have it be his son that shows up in the ethereal universe. No, it's still stupid, even if you do it that way. The alien realm, or whatever. The alien AI explains about how the billions of years ago there was a super hyper advanced society that could harness the power of stars and things. Which sounds really cool. But their AI destroyed them, so they rebuilt, and eventually they came to Earth solar system when it was newly forming, and put a Dyson sphere spaceship arc moon in orbit with ships in it. They don't use the ships in the movie except to fight the AI thing. It does beg the question, why didn't the defenses inside, if they were still working after billions of years, why didn't the defenses inside the ship, the moon, blow up the bad guy ship thing earlier? Why didn't it have a firewall, basically? They could just go and just blow, cancel the thing. How did it get to Earth? And yeah, they didn't explain that. He kind of hinted at that in Independence Day Resurgence as well, with an AI that was going to fight the harvesters, and a brilliantly hilarious channel of the Society's Too Stupid to Exist channel, looking at different aliens, villains too stupid to exist, did the harvesters at one point and said, why would they do that? They can travel the galaxy through light years and they have hyperdrive. They wouldn't need to. That's what I thought. The same reason. Yeah. Amato in the Macross. Yeah. It's not the same here though. They have their technology in the space movie is not like that. It's not as cool at all. But we don't see billion-year-old aliens showing up. We just see this weird thing going on with the AI thing that followed them to the moon and is draining the star, even though it can't do that. And they've got to put it back, the moon back in its place, and shedding off stuff and destroying cities and chucking buildings across the country. And even though it wasn't going in that direction, it was going the other way in retrograde. But how did the Chrysler Building end up in Colorado? The moon was going the other way. Counterclockwise. It wouldn't. Yeah, it would have landed in Africa somewhere, or in the Atlantic somewhere. Oops. Because it was going. Well, did it fly around the Earth and come back down? I guess it could have, but yeah, the way it doesn't make. How would it? Even if it was, how would it land partly intact after that? That's what I'm trying to say. It wouldn't be, and it wouldn't land right there. It would be disintegrated and just come down. Another thing they Emmerich must have seen this movie or copied it. About a year ago, there was a movie about this guy, this lone human on a space station on a devastated Earth. So the alien movie about the structure thing, I guess it was almost over anyway. There's a review of Roland Emmerich's Moonfall. I kept mentioning other stuff that had nothing to do with Moonfall because there's not much going on. For all the stuff blowing up and references to some of the stuff I wrote. And other people wrote too. They reference other stuff as well. He references The Expanse, but I've never seen it. So I've seen one episode of it. That was it. Couldn't get into it. Anyway, that is the... Yeah, it sucked. It's not really as horrible as the critics are saying it is. I think Rotten Tomatoes give it 20% or 30% or something. Yeah, it's about 1 star. Okay, if you want to watch a big dumb action flick where they blow up a bunch of stuff, it doesn't make sense. It isn't supposed to. Okay, yeah. There's a subplot about a son in jail. Everybody's angry at everyone's stepfather and stepmother and things like that, and And it's just, that doesn't need to be in the movie. They could have just cut that out and made it a space movie about them going to the moon. And I think it would have been better. But they didn't want to do that. So all of the extra family drama stuff could have been cut out, and it could have been a 90-minute movie. It's a schlocky 90-minute space movie instead of over 2 hours and very, very, very annoying. No, but yes, they didn't need. Yeah, the plot elements were like. I guess Emmerich must have had some issues years ago because he keeps putting it in his movies about family drama. Anyway, so that's Moonfall. That's, yeah.